Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to our discussion all about staying fit while fasting, exercise recommendations in Ramadan. When we're prepping for Ramadan with subhanAllah just 1 week upcoming, now is an amazing time to not only be thinking about our spiritual preparation, but also how we can get our bodies ready to support a month full of beautiful ibadah and worship. Our bodies obviously have to be part of that discussion. So before we jump in, I want to share with all of you the tools that we have to help you really experience a healthy Ramadan. The first of which is the Ramadan Reset guidebook. So as many of you know, at Amanah Fitness, we've prepared a complete guidebook with over 70 delicious, healthy ethnic recipes, a full 30-day dietitian fasting meal plan, and packed with practical tips on implementing your fitness schedule in Ramadan, your sleep, your caffeine, adjusting all of that, and really making sure that your body is supporting you through Ramadan. So we invite you to check that out. You'll find all of the details about the Ramadan Reset guidebook at ramadanreset.com. And of course, alhamdulillah, the best part about it is that 100% of all profits from this guidebook are donated to charity. So over the past 2 years, with your support, alhamdulillah, we have donated over $41,500 to families in need, mashallah. And we're really looking forward to continuing that amazing charitable donation this year, inshallah. So feel free to check it out at ramadanreset.com. In addition, today we are going to talk all about implementing your workout routine in Ramadan. And of course, we are here to support you with that as well. So all throughout Ramadan, we have free Ramadan workout videos to help you make this super easy. So you can follow along with my husband and myself coaching him through our Ramadan home workouts. So we have so many workouts, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. This year we're doing 12-minute workout videos, short and effective and specifically designed to be safe while fasting. All of our workouts in Ramadan are completely free. You can get, this is the first one that we just released new for this year. And again, all of them are specifically designed to be done by someone who's fasting or someone who's doing these workouts in Ramadan. So you can grab our Ramadan Reset workout calendar, follow along every single day. We've planned out every day the workout that we recommend that you do with rest days and plot it all in there so you have a full body workout routine. You can get that at ramadanreset.com/workouts so that you can follow along the calendar and complete your daily workouts. So we're really looking forward to sharing a healthy Ramadan with all of you, inshallah. And for today's session, I really want to answer so many of those questions that come up a lot in terms of fitting in exercise in your busy schedule. Let me know in the chat, what are your biggest struggles in terms of implementing exercise in Ramadan? Have you tried exercising in Ramadan before, and how did that look for you? I'd love to hear from you in the chat. Many of you know who have attended many of our Amanah Fitness webinars previously, is I always like to break down physical health into 3 main components: your fitness, your nutrition, and your rest. I call this the Afiyah Formula. These are the 3 components of your physical health that we want to optimize so that you are feeling your best every day. So of course, today we're going to be talking all about fitness in Ramadan, your movement and your exercise. In terms of your nutrition, your healthy eating, your suhoors, your iftars, planning those out for success. That's what we're going to talk about in our next webinar on March 28th. So in just 2 days, we're doing another webinar on healthy eating in Ramadan made simple. So definitely please join us for that next webinar as well. And then we're doing a final 3rd webinar on your sleep in terms of how to improve your sleep in Ramadan on March 31st. So I hope to see all of you at our upcoming webinars as well. So jumping into fitness in Ramadan, what are the health benefits of fasting in Ramadan? And definitely before we begin this discussion, I just want to preface that by saying that anyone with a medical condition, diabetes, or anything else, you must consult with your doctor to understand if you're able to fast and how to fast in Ramadan safely. So that's always something that we want to emphasize in Ramadan, because we want to be working with your doctor to making sure that you are cleared and good to go while fasting. And additionally, if you have any specific medical condition, you always want to get cleared by your doctor before starting any exercise routine as well. So just a quick reminder about that. But we do know that there are many health benefits of fasting, and I like to go over this because, you know, as we're going through our fast, oftentimes we can feel like this is difficult, this is hard, but there are so many health benefits as well of fasting that we can really appreciate as part of our Ramadan experience. So there's a benefit to your brain. We know that fasting can optimize your brain performance. We also know that fasting has a beneficial effect on your cholesterol and your immune system. So these are all beneficial things that your body will experience as we are going through fasting, inshallah. Now, what are some particular challenges that we experience in Ramadan that we want to adjust for and plan for? The first main challenge, and that specifically applies to when we're thinking about exercise in Ramadan, is dehydration, right? So of course in Ramadan, as we're going throughout our fasting day, we're not having fluids. So your body can very easily enter a dehydrated state if we don't take extra care to make sure we are getting that good fluid consumption in our non-fasted hours. Particularly when you're exercising, that's where dehydration becomes more of a safety risk. And we want to really make sure that we are aware that we're dehydrated. We have to pay special attention to that if we're thinking about exercising in Ramadan, because of course we want to stay safe. We want to exercise to improve your body in Ramadan and not put your body in further danger. Also, of course, there's a challenge of motivation in Ramadan, right? So many Muslims find it difficult to prioritize exercise in Ramadan. There's just so much going on, and all of that seems more important than your exercise, right? But this is where I want to have a mindset shift with all of us here today, inshallah. Remember that exercise in Ramadan is for a very specific purpose. We are exercising in Ramadan to take care of your body so you can do a better job in everything you want to accomplish in this blessed month. Your prayers, your dhikr, your reading Quran. You need to have energy to be able to engage in all of that and do your best job. We also want you to have energy left over to play with your kids and still have that quality family time. So everything that you need to do in Ramadan, remember that your body needs to be cooperating with you. And fitness is the way that we make sure that that's happening. So here's a little mindset check for all of us, that if you only think about exercise for the purpose of losing weight, this is the time to recognize that exercise is about so much more than that. And it's so beautiful when you bring in exercise into your Ramadan will improve. I have heard it from so many Muslim families year after year that I had no idea what a beneficial effect exercise would have on my Ramadan spirituality. So that's the purpose we're bringing in exercise into your Ramadan. Of course, weight gain is a challenge that many Muslims might struggle with in Ramadan, right? So in one study, 173 families were interviewed. Almost 60% of them reported gaining weight in Ramadan. SubhanAllah, like that's crazy to think about. We're going without food for the whole day, yet 60% of people in this study still gained weight in Ramadan. And breaking it down why, many of them said because it was food in terms of like overeating on the foods that are rich in fat and carbohydrates. 30% attributed it to a lack of exercise in Ramadan. So again, we want to have the benefit of exercise in all areas of our life. And of course, that does have a beneficial effect on healthy weight maintenance in Ramadan as well. So why are we talking about this? I hope it's becoming clear. Fitness in Ramadan is important. And it's important because you need to optimize your body. Your body is what's going to be going through Ramadan's 30 days. So we want to make sure that we're taking care of it. A strong body absolutely can mean a stronger Ramadan, right? If you stop exercising in Ramadan, there's the negative mood that comes up. You know, so many of us, we feel tired and irritable and just grouchy. We become like the Ramadan grouch. A lot of that is because we stop moving, you know, so we want to keep up, we want to help ourselves be more pleasant and applying the character of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Exercise can help us have that positive mood. We also know that exercise can help you not feel fatigued, right? As you're going through the day. Again, so many of us misattribute the Ramadan tiredness and the slump of tiredness to fasting, but often it's because we're suddenly doing a sedentary behavior shift. So we want to avoid the fatigue as well. Exercise will help you with that. If you stop exercising, you're going to see a decrease in your cardio capacity and your strength. We want to avoid that in Ramadan. We want to be maintaining your strength and your fitness, of course, during this month as well. And of course, we also said that, you know, if you are exercising, is an amazing way to boost your cognitive function. If you have goals of memorizing the Quran, reading the Quran, you want to have your brain doing its best. So of course, exercise is a great way to do that as well. For any of you who might be older adults, or if you're thinking about your parents, your aunties, your uncles, it's extra important for you to be continuing to exercise and stay fit during Ramadan, because we know that deconditioning happens faster in older adults. So we want to be avoiding that inside of Ramadan. So not only motivation for you to be exercising in Ramadan, but to bring your family and everyone exercise together so we can all see that benefit, inshallah, and maintain this beautiful habit. So we talked about many benefits of Ramadan. There's that energy, of course. There's the opportunity to actually improve your health in this month. And I want to really clarify misconceptions that I'm not talking about spending massive amounts of time in Ramadan on exercise. We want to have short workouts, reducing your time that you're focusing on this, but getting the best out of it. That's what I call the minimum effective dose. So I want to help you achieve a Ramadan schedule that includes fitness. So we're spending the least amount of time exercising or preparing food in the kitchen for the biggest energy payoff, the biggest bang for your buck to supercharge your Ramadan, inshallah. So that's the goal here. The mindset shift I hope we can all take away from this is that health and fitness is absolutely important in Ramadan, so you have more energy for worship, your family, for reflection. Your body is part of your Ramadan prep. So if this week you're thinking about prepping the samosas, preparing the fried items, if you're preparing the frozen items, all of that stuff is amazing Ramadan prep to help you through logistically, but your body is absolutely part of your Ramadan prep too. So we want to be taking care of it, especially thinking about that in this week upcoming, inshallah. So let's set our intention. In all of our Amanah fitness workouts, and especially in our Ramadan workouts, we always like to start our workouts with Bismillah, set your intention. With this mindset that, Ya Allah, we are spending time on our bodies to be able to do a better job in Ramadan so we can become closer to you. Inshallah, with that intention, we can be rewarded for the time we spend exercising in Ramadan. How beautiful is that? Let's make sure that we have that intention as we begin our Ramadan fitness plans. So jumping in now, thinking about exercise, did you know that people significantly underestimate how much they will enjoy exercising? There's something called a forecasting bias, where we think that we don't want to do it and it's so difficult. And if we can just start taking those first few steps to have an exercise plan in your day, you're going to realize that it is not as difficult or as challenging as you thought it was. And that's one of the biggest tips that I can give. If you are dreading exercise and really thinking, how on earth am I going to fit this in? Just allow yourself to do those first few steps, and you will realize that it just becomes more and more doable as you become more and more familiar with it. Now, many people often say, oh, Amanah, I don't need to exercise because I am praying so much in Ramadan, and that is my exercise. So if you've ever heard that, of course, we know that prayer postures are very beneficial for your body. One particular study looked at the impact of prayer postures on your body and found that most of the joints and muscles of the body are definitely involved with little effort in salah. So that's amazing. You're getting that beautiful mobility. However, during prayer, the MET, which is called the metabolic equivalence of a task, so basically how much energy that your body needs to use to complete this task, of course that is quite low during prayer. So we need just more movement to fulfill your body's exercise requirements every day. So here's just a list of some common popular activities, and you can see the MET, metabolic equivalence of task requirement, for each one. So you can see that, for example, biking would be 14, swimming would be 9.8, running 7, and then prayer is around a 1.8. So of course prayer is a great way to mobilize your body, but we need more. Your body needs more to fulfill its needs. So we, of course, we can obtain further benefits by including a healthy and balanced workout routine throughout Ramadan. So I know so many of you have so many questions about exercise and fitting it in. Before we jump into that discussion about exercise in Ramadan, we have to first talk about movement, because movement is the precursor of fitness. And movement is something that even on the days that you're not exercising in Ramadan, I need you to remember to increase your movement, okay? So I always like to break this down, that every single day your body has a certain amount of calories that we burn. It's called your total daily energy expenditure, and that can be broken down into your basal metabolic rate, so all of the calories that are burned to maintain your tissues, your heart, your lungs. Also, we burn calories through digesting food, the thermic effect of food. We also burn calories when we exercise, right? The volitional effect of exercise thermogenesis. And we burn calories when we are doing what's called non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So that is what is the calories burned throughout the day when you are doing movements throughout the day that aren't exercise, but it's still getting your body moving. So that is making sure that we are increasing your steps and your walking, especially in Ramadan. Because in Ramadan is a time when many of us think, I'm not eating, I'm not drinking, so I should not be moving. However, increasing your daily level of movement is one of the best ways to energize your body. So we want to increase your NEAT movement, on the formula, your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So trying to get higher on your step count every day in Ramadan is really, really helpful. I know it seems counterintuitive. Why would I want to move more if I'm not eating? But this has a massive energy payoff. This also has a massive payoff in terms of your daily metabolism. So we want to be moving more every day. This includes transitioning from standing, sitting, and walking throughout the day. So just moving throughout these states. If you find yourself in Ramadan sitting for long periods of time, of course, we want to try and break up those sedentary periods. So I would recommend to, just in this week before Ramadan, see if you can track your number of steps that you do typically on a daily basis, so that we know what's your baseline, and we can see, is that going to decrease in Ramadan, or are you going to be able to increase it? So most people at around an average of 3,000 to 6,000 steps a day, just through daily modern life, which is quite sedentary. So if we can see where you're at as a baseline, we're able to just start creeping that up in Ramadan. And again, the easiest way to do that is break up periods of sedentary behavior. If you find yourself sitting long, get up and move. And also in Ramadan, there's so many opportunities. Look for the activities where you're sitting and you're not doing really anything that requires you to be sitting. You could be listening to a lecture, anything like that, you can get up and move around. House walking is one of the best ways to get your steps up. You know, in Ramadan, we want to promote family ties and strengthening those family times. Talk on the phone while you are walking around your house. Those are all great ways to get your movement creeping up. And did you know that studies have shown that actually taking a walk is more energizing than having a sugary treat? So if you're someone who struggles with that energy in Ramadan, increasing your daily level of non-exercise activity thermogenesis is going to be one of the best things that you can do. All right, so we talked about movement, but I know that you all are here to talk about exercise in Ramadan. So how do we exercise safely, practically, and for best results in Ramadan? Let's discuss it. Remember, we do have full free follow along workout videos to make this super easy for you. So I hope that many of you will join us for our Ramadan workout videos and follow along with us all month long throughout all of the workouts that we have, inshallah, according to our workout calendar. So Ramadan workout challenges specifically, we talked about the dehydration. We know that you're dehydrated during Ramadan. We also know that a big challenge that many Muslims have, that I noticed that many of you were saying in the chat, is not knowing what time to work out in Ramadan. We have many of you tuning in from different parts of the world. So of course, iftar time is different for everyone, which has a big impact on your Ramadan schedule. We also know that logistics challenge comes up. So we're balancing family, prayers, work, or studying. You know, it can feel impossible to manage it all in Ramadan. So that's a really big challenge that we want to break down and come up with some effective solutions for. And also, perhaps we're dealing with performance decreases in Ramadan. Maybe you might be thinking, am I able to do the same workouts that I did before during Ramadan? Let's kind of go through all of this, inshallah. Remember, dehydration is your biggest Ramadan workout safety concern. So some of those symptoms of dehydration, a dry mouth, feeling tired, weakness in your muscles, headache or dizziness, we want to avoid those, and we want to make sure we're setting ourselves up for success. So super critical for you to remember is we must hydrate adequately in non-fasted hours. We absolutely have to. Take this very seriously. In order to support your body through Ramadan, you must be hydrating enough. So get yourself a 2-liter water bottle, carry it around everywhere like a child, and just be drinking during your non-fasted hours to the masjid, throughout Tarawih if you're going, after prayers. Carry that water bottle and hydrate aggressively, I like to say, in non-fasted hours. That is fantastic. It's one of the best ways to support your body through Ramadan, inshallah. And don't go to the masjid without your water bottle, because then you'll be like, oops, I forgot it, and then the hydration won't happen. So now let's talk about when should you work out in Ramadan. Of course, everyone's schedule is different, and the benefit of that is we can look at potentially different times for you to exercise and fit in exercise in your particular situation. So there's a couple of options that you have in the day, and there's pros and cons of each of them, okay? So the main considerations here, between all of the timings, the main difference is going to be whether you are working out fasted or non-fasted, of course. Non-fasted workouts are always safer because, of course, you're hydrated. So we don't have to worry about you hurting yourself during your workout. But of course, sometimes you have scheduling issues that might make you think, okay, is there another option? So let's go through all of it. Now, if you look at your day, the first thing to decide is to look at is when is your iftar based on your time zone, right? So the preferential time that I would recommend for everyone is sometime after iftar, so you can complete a workout non-fasted. Now, in terms of that, there's a few different options. You could break your fast, and you could just break your fast with some dates and some water, and then go and do your workout, and then come back and have a full meal. So that's an option for you. If you are a student or someone living on your own, that would be, I would recommend, the best time to get your workout in. You can keep it short. You have the hydration opportunity. You can even have a date to break your fast and then go to your workout. It's very safe. You'll have a fantastic workout. It'll be a really high energy workout. And then you'll just be able to have your full meal and then go throughout the rest of the night feeling really comfortable. You can do your prayers. You can go to the masjid. Your rest of your night won't really be disrupted. So that is an option for you right at iftar. And the benefit is because you're going to be wanting to go quickly, so you're going to want to get to your food, is you're not going to procrastinate. You're going to break your fast and then do your workout and not waste any time, and then you're going to go and have your meal. So that's a really fantastic time. Now, most people in families are not able to do that because if you're going to go and work out, then your dad's going to say, where are you? It's time for family iftar. So we want something a little bit more practical perhaps in that situation. The next time that I might suggest is 1 to 2 hours after eating iftar. Again, non-fasted, so it's super safe and it's practical for your family schedule. So the key to make sure for this timing is that you will have given yourself enough time to digest your food. I don't want you throwing up in your post-iftar workout after eating a big plate of heavy biryani. So give yourself enough time to digest the food, and you should feel, the key to know if you are ready to work out is you should be feeling light and comfortable and not weighed down in your stomach before starting your workout. So we don't want you to be feeling like you're hanging on to a lot of food sloshing around in your belly. You should feel comfortable approaching the workout, inshallah. So make sure that you give yourself enough time after iftar to go to your workout. And this is trial and error. So say that you go to your workout and you're burping a little bit and you're feeling kind of sluggish, then you need to wait a little bit longer before your next workout, and move that a little bit later after your iftar. One of the things that you will notice as we're getting into fitness in Ramadan is so much of that is personal and individualized, that as we do this more and more, you will learn about your body and be able to implement more personalized suggestions for you. So that's a great option. Of course, I know that there is another scheduling challenge here, that if you are in a time zone, like in Toronto, for example, where your iftar is late, and then by the time you finish iftar, then you don't have too much time before going to Tarawih, that's where, you might want to consider another timing, because the logistics of that are challenging. But say that you're a mom staying home with your kids and you don't have that schedule rush, that's a really fantastic time to fit in your workout. Again, we're going to keep it short. All of our Ramadan workouts are 5, 10, or 12 minutes long. So this is not a big time commitment. You know that we said the minimum effective dose. This is not something that's going to take hours. Literally, I'm asking for under 15 minutes of your time to get in an amazing workout. So with that mindset, and if it's a priority, we can fit it in, inshallah. So those are your two kind of iftar options. Other non-fasted workout options is working out after, say, you come back from Tarawih later at night. And the thing here that I want to just make sure that to emphasize is never let that disrupt your sleep. So many people will ask, am I able to work out right before sleeping? And again, this depends on you. For some people, they can exercise and immediately have an amazing night's sleep. Other people, that level of movement will disrupt their sleep and make it harder to fall asleep at night. So sleep is so important. You know, we're going to talk all about that in our webinar 3. So we want to make sure you're getting a beautiful night's sleep, because that resting and recharging is critical for your body. So if you try it out, I would say in this week before Ramadan is the best time to try out some of these workout timings. See if you want to, if you're thinking about exercising a little bit later in the night, try it out and see how you do. And then that's where we make that decision. I know some Muslims who are super early birds will be thinking about exercising before suhoor. And again, your time zone will dictate that depending on what time your suhoor is. If you want to exercise before suhoor, I mean, that's again, it's a non-fasted safe workout timing. A consideration for that is that I don't want you to be cutting into your sleep. So I don't want you to really be making your life difficult and pushing yourself so then you're sleepy for the rest of the day. That we don't want to be in that situation. So I would say do this if this is your natural habitual schedule and you're comfortable with that and it's not going to disrupt your sleep or really make a massive inconvenience for you to wake up that early. For most people, that is just way too impractical to wake up that early. But those are your 4 possible non-fasted workout timings. So hopefully, I really hope that you pick one of those to schedule in your workouts. Again, it's the safest, the best time for your body to exercise non-fasted. Even if you are someone who is very experienced at exercising and you feel super confident and you're like, I know that I can exercise, you know, fasted, whatever. You sometimes we're not aware of the impacts of that on our bodies, and we might be pushing through and not realizing that there are some detrimental effects happening within our body that we want to avoid. So always a non-fasted, hydrated workout is so critical. You don't need a lot of time, just a short time. Non-fasted is always safest and best. Now, if you're like, I just can't, it's not possible, you have no idea my schedule, it's not gonna happen. If you really are thinking about a fasted workout timing, firstly, I would not recommend exercising in the morning at the start of your fasted day. Like outside of Ramadan, if you're someone who wakes up and then you get to a workout at around 8 or 9 a.m., do not do that in Ramadan, please, because you are going to get into even more dehydrated right at the beginning of your fast, and you put yourself at risk for the rest of the day, that you're going to potentially be struggling through a very challenging fast, and in that state, prolonged state of dehydration for the rest of your day. So I would definitely recommend do not exercise at the start of your fast. If you are really gotta do a fasted workout, you can try exercising before Iftar, as close to Iftar time as possible. So we are shortening the window of opportunity until you are able to hydrate. So if you insist on doing a fasted workout, we're gonna be pushing that as close to Iftar as possible so we are able to hydrate immediately after. And we're going to pay special consideration for the type of workouts we are doing. So you'll notice in all of our Ramadan Reset workout videos, we have made them specifically to be low impact. So you're still getting an amazing workout, but they're not with a lot of the impact and jumping that can often put you in a greater at risk state while you're dehydrated. So we've created our workouts to be safe, even if you'll be doing it at that time. But of course, you must be listening to your body. If you're exercising before Iftar, knowing that you're dehydrated, you gotta go really gentle. Scale it back a little bit. Make sure that you're staying well within your comfort zone. And if you start feeling those signs of dehydration, that's a case where, you know, maybe just go for a walk, then scale it back, because your safety is your top priority during Ramadan. So I hope that those are some considerations to help you pick your workout timing. The best time to work out for you in Ramadan is to look at your schedule and determine your windows of opportunity, remembering that non-fasted workouts are always safer. We want to stay within your comfort zone. Remember, that's important. So be listening in. And again, it's something interesting where you will start noticing patterns. If you are always working out at a high level outside of Ramadan, you will notice, oh, okay, I'm seeing an impact on my performance when I'm fasted. So, look at that performance and then just adjust accordingly. Don't be having the mindset that you're going to push through and do just the same or better in Ramadan. That's not what your workouts in Ramadan are about. So go within your comfort zone, scale it back a bit. Remember, it's about movement, it's about energy. And we also want to take advantage of Ramadan at home. Depending on where you are in the world, perhaps you're still, masjids are still closed perhaps, or you're not comfortable going to the masjids without masks on. If you're going to be doing Ramadan at home, or just your schedule is going to be at home, take advantage of that. That's such a perfect opportunity to be exercising a little bit later in the evening after your iftar has digested, and that's going to be super comfortable. And remember, if you are doing a fasted workout, as close to iftar time as possible to maximize that hydration. And again, you got to test it for you. If you do a fasted workout and it was not feeling right, you didn't feel well, you felt low energy, you felt dizzy, then that's a sign that, okay, I got to move my workout to a non-fasted time and make sure that I'm making that a priority. So adjust based on you and your experience. As you can see, there's a lot of potential times for you to exercise in Ramadan, and it's super helpful if you take this week before Ramadan and try it out. So it's a beautiful opportunity to do some voluntary fasts and to try out a few of the workout timings that you think would be a good fit, so that ideally when you start Ramadan, you can hit the ground running, you know your chosen workout time, and you are good to go. Personally, I try and do the immediately at iftar option. I try and break my fast, go for my workout, and then eat after, because it just works so well. And on days where, maybe we have a family dinner or something, I'll work out a little bit after iftar. And that's, the times that really work out well, inshallah. All right, anyone have any questions about that before we move on? I know that scheduling can be a challenge, but again, this is about finding the opportunities. Short, energizing workouts can absolutely be done effectively in 5 or 10 minutes at home. All of our works are 5, 10, or 12 minutes. So this is such a short time commitment. Please recognize the immense opportunity that is waiting for you if you make that time to promote fitness within your Ramadan schedule, inshallah. And yes, it's all about consistency. That consistency builds up throughout the week to make yourself feel better. Awesome. Selma asked, I wanted to plan to walk before iftar. How long would be recommended for that? So again, do what feels right for your body. Walking before iftar is a really great place to put that, right? It's a nice, safe, low impact way of getting in movement in your day. So see where your current step level is at in the day and try and adjust for that. Maybe you start off with a 20-minute walk and see where you're at with your steps by the end of the day. Trying to get to 8 to 10,000 would be fantastic by the end of your fasting day. So I would adjust accordingly in that respect. Awesome question. So, what types of workouts are best for Ramadan? We have a few considerations. The first is intensity. We want to go at a level that you are already comfortable with. We want to go at a level that you're familiar and used to outside of Ramadan, within Ramadan. That's going to be helpful. For beginners, if you haven't been working out recently or for a long time, or if you're just starting, you can start exercising in Ramadan, but remember, we want to go light and gentle. For my beginners, I would definitely recommend do a non-fasted workout time so that you have that safety cushion within your workouts so you can be comfortable completing workouts as you're just starting out. So the intensity level needs to be appropriate for you, staying within your comfort zone. Again, scaling back if necessary, recognizing that if you're dehydrated, we want to be really nice and safe. If you're working out in a non-fasted workout time, you can go hard because you're drinking, you're having you're hydrating your body, and that's great. In terms of the type of workouts to do in Ramadan, we must include some sort of strength training. We can't just do cardio in Ramadan. And in Ramadan, we really have that extra risk of losing muscle mass. And the way that we can avoid that is by strengthening your muscles, right? When we strengthen and use our muscles, that's when we don't lose them. So we got to make sure we are having some way of engaging your muscle groups to strengthen them in Ramadan. And that resistance can be body weight or it can be weights. It's functional. So when I usually say this, a lot of people assume I mean that you need to grab some weights. Absolutely not. For example, in our Ramadan workouts, we show you how to use your body as resistance, body weight resistance. You're lifting and lowering your entire body. That is also a form of resistance training. So what the key here is that I don't want you to just be running all throughout Ramadan or just cycling all throughout Ramadan. Include some type of resistance. If you're doing our Ramadan workouts, that is taken care of for you, because again, we're getting that functional resistance training. It's got to be balanced and it's got to be full body. So examples of those are going to be squats, your planks, lifts, any type of movement that gets your muscles having to get stronger to hold you in those positions. So those are all movements we want to be incorporating in your Ramadan. So that's really key. In terms of frequency, it's got to just be based on your family schedule and practicality. So there's no particular, frequency that I'm going to recommend in Ramadan. If you're able to start off with, maybe 2 workouts a week, it's better than nothing, right? So start small and build up from there. Ideally, I would love for everyone to be exercising every day in Ramadan. It's just 5 to 10, 15 minutes, no problem. But I don't want you to let that perfection be the barrier to doing something amazing for your body, right? So start where you're at. Maybe start on the days that it's like, okay, I don't have that much going on in Ramadan today. Start on those days, making sure you're getting your workouts in, and scale up from there. If you have a packed work schedule, you're like, forget it, I cannot fit it in. Do it on weekends, start where you are at, and that's an amazing place to begin planning your Ramadan workout frequency. Particularly in terms of specific exercises that are affected during Ramadan. So I wanted to share some of the research about that. So the good news is that submaximal exercise is any exercise that doesn't require you to go or exceed your maximum aerobic capacity. So any type of exercise that you are working at a submaximal level, that is unaffected in Ramadan. We know that your submaximal average exercise effect is not going to be affected, and that's the majority of exercise that all of you will be doing in your homes, right? So the majority of Muslims who are exercising at home and away from movement, energy, and weight management is submaximal. So you can continue that in Ramadan and it's not affected, which is great. However, maximal exercise is affected. So extreme athletic performance or exercise that requires you to go at your maximum rate of exertion, we find that is affected while fasting. So don't expect to be doing your personal best records in Ramadan or getting your best sprint times or your best 5K times. Don't expect to be exceeding those your personal maxes during Ramadan, because it's also not a time for that, right? We know that we're aiming to exercise to maintain and nurture your body's capabilities rather than, really focus on getting to your max. So maximal exercise, we know that is affected. So the take home from that, we're going to be doing submaximal exercise for maintenance and keeping your body active throughout the month. We also know, amazingly, that the strength of your muscular contraction is unaffected. So if you can lift a certain amount or do a certain number of squats or plank for a certain amount of time before Ramadan, you're going to be able to still do that Ramadan, no problem. Also, short duration cardio is also unaffected. However, long duration cardio exercises can be affected while fasting. So for example, the time until you reach exhaustion is shortened while fasting. So we know that you may get tired quicker while fasting. So long length, high intensity endurance events would not be recommended while fasting, like marathon or long distance running. However, low intensity, steady state cardio is absolutely fine. And that short duration, high intensity work as well. So just adjust your plan accordingly, right? If you're thinking, I really want to maintain a particular routine, you can do that non-fasted, or be aware of what is going to be affected while you're fasting. So these considerations, maximal exercise and long duration exercise is what is affected during the fasted state. So if you want to be doing those activities in Ramadan, you must do them non-fasted or switch to submaximal exercise that is going to be totally suitable during Ramadan. So does anyone have any questions about that? Let me know. Other training limitations that I want to highlight is that you might want to be considering avoiding, again, that maximal highest intensity exercise if you are exercising while fasting, because that max performance is compromised. So for example, a fasting athlete would have a slower sprint time in Ramadan. And again, if you're doing some maximal typical home workouts, you're not really going to have a problem, because that's at a submaximal level during Ramadan. So I hope that that kind of empowers you to recognize that you can do so much in Ramadan. There's so much benefit that we can take from our exercises, and we just want to adjust our fitness schedule accordingly. So key takeaway here is customize and trial your schedule. No one's Ramadan fitness schedule is the same. We all have different schedules. We all have different fitness histories. We all have different personal levels of maximal exercise. So everyone's level of fitness is going to be very different in Ramadan. The best thing you can do is try a few different timings before in this week upcoming, or maybe right at the beginning of Ramadan when you start fasting in that first week, try out a few different timings, find the one that works and stick with it for the rest of Ramadan to get into a good routine, inshallah. So a couple of questions. Rafiat saying, I would like to exercise before opening my fast. Is that okay? Remember, that is a fasted workout. So we want to be really careful. I would rather that you do an exercise timing that's non-fasted, say after Iftar, but if that's the only timing that you can exercise, make sure you're staying within your comfort zone. You're doing it as close to Iftar as possible so you can hydrate immediately afterwards, and we're making sure that you are not exceeding or getting close really to your maximum level of exertion. Mariam's planning to hit the workouts right before Tarawih. That sounds great. Someone's asking, Amanah's asking, do you recommend keeping the same momentum during periods, especially if your period falls right in the middle of Ramadan? I'm glad you brought that up. A lot of times, many women think that they need to stop exercising on their periods, and research actually shows that exercising on your period can reduce painful period symptoms. So if you're able to, I would definitely encourage you to exercise and continue exercising throughout your period in Ramadan. You're not fasting, so you can actually really enjoy your workouts, and take that as an opportunity to maybe do a longer workout, maybe get outside, really enjoy that opportunity to exercise. Hydrate very, very well on that week. Make sure you're hydrating constantly throughout the day, especially if you're going to be exercising as well. So definitely do that, but absolutely you can for sure have a beautiful fitness routine during your period. And I know that everyone's different. Some ladies have really painful symptoms in the beginning of their period, so adjust accordingly. If you need to take a few days off at the beginning, that's fine. Don't worry, we can customize it as we go. Hydration is so key for that for sure. All right, so we want to customize and trial. To summarize this discussion, Ramadan workout principles. Number 1, aim for consistency and build your habit. Number 1, most important. I know so many people will be like, oh, I'm going to exercise so well this Ramadan, and they'll go to the gym and they'll do like an hour and a half session and they'll feel so good, and then they'll go home and then they'll realize that that was not practical to do all Ramadan. So then they'll maybe only do it one more time and then no other workouts for the rest of the month. That is not what I want you to be doing. I would rather that you do 5, 10, or 12 minutes every single day, and you build up this amazing exercise habit throughout Ramadan, and then after Ramadan, we build on that and improve it. So let's shift that mindset. It's not about going all out crazy for one time. It's about building a consistent habit. And remember, I know everyone always underestimates the short workouts. What can I really do in 5, 10, 12 minutes? Those minutes are going to be some of the best minutes of your day because they are efficient workouts that I've planned for you, and I hope that you really take advantage of them to fit those into your schedule. So, must aim for consistency, build your habit. I am more focused on getting you to think about your habit of exercise than the workout itself. If we're building a habit, that's most important. Next Ramadan workout principle is to aim for maintenance and avoid deconditioning and loss of strength. We discussed that maximal exercise is affected in Ramadan. We're not really aiming to do our best fantastic workouts in the whole year. We're aiming for maintenance so that we avoid that deconditioning that can happen. So we don't want you to lose muscle. We don't want you to lose that steam. We want to be maintaining your body's fitness throughout Ramadan. So picking the workouts that are going to support you for that. You got to make sure that you have some type of resistance exercise included in your routine so that we're maintaining your muscle mass. We want to be exercising at a level that you're comfortable with if you're currently exercising, so within your comfort zone, or if you're a beginner and you're starting, exercising in a very gentle way just to get started. So really aiming for maintenance to avoid deconditioning in Ramadan. And that's going to be very customizable based on what you've already been doing. And we want to focus on small trackable goals, such as strength progression, to keep you motivated throughout the month. So this month, rather than looking at what does the scale show and always getting, really fixated on the scale in Ramadan, focus on goals that keep you motivated to stay consistent with your exercise, such as seeing yourself get stronger in the month. So for example, I like to suggest everyone does a little plank challenge in Ramadan. Spending just 2 minutes a day to gradually increase your plank time throughout Ramadan, you can have such an amazing impact on your body by the end if you're doing this. So for example, if you have always wanted to have a stronger core, or you've always wanted to be a little bit stronger, Ramadan is a great way to take that time to do those progressions in strength that maybe we don't have an opportunity to do outside in the rest of the year. So it takes such little time, but say that you are really consistent with practicing your planks every day or practicing your squats every day, you would have such a big benefit by the end of Ramadan. And often we're doing so much other workouts in the rest of the year that we don't get that opportunity. So think about that. Or it's an opportunity to get a lot of mobility work in. A lot of athletes will really be pushing their bodies hard throughout the rest of the year. Ramadan's an opportunity to scale it back and focus on mobility, making sure you're stretching every day, making sure you're having that holistic workout routine. Again, that's another great opportunity during Ramadan. So our goals do shift in Ramadan. We're shifting that to focusing on how we can improve our body holistically to get that energizing effect in Ramadan, and trackable progressions are a really great way to do that. To wrap up all of this, we know that we have specific challenges in Ramadan, and we can absolutely adjust for those within Ramadan with some simple planning so we can feel our best, inshallah. I really encourage all of you to try our free Ramadan home workout videos. We have so much fun creating these for all of you, and they're specifically designed to achieve all of these goals in Ramadan. So you'll get the resistance training, you'll get a low impact cardio effect, and it's manageable, it's short, it's just 5 to 10 or 12 minutes a day in Ramadan. So I hope that you enjoy it, inshallah. You can get those at ramadanreset.com/workout so that you get our workout calendar as well, and you can follow along all throughout the month, inshallah. All right, so to wrap up, the final mindset shift that we discussed in this webinar, let me know in the chat with a yes if you're on board with this mindset shift. Your health and fitness is absolutely important in Ramadan because it directly affects your energy. So we want to make sure that we are recognizing that your body is part of your Ramadan prep. We want that beautiful energy. We want a Ramadan where we have that energy to do our best. It starts with your body. So inshallah, with that intention, may we be all rewarded for the time we spent focusing on our bodies as well. Inshallah, Ameen. Let me know in the chat if you are down with that mindset. Perfect. All right, let's jump into some questions. Drop them in the chat, inshallah, and we can go through them. I saw some questions coming in as well. Selma is asking, if I want to start a workout routine and I'm not used to exercising yet, do you recommend I start easy, or how do you recommend I do it? Definitely, if you are not exercising regularly, I think Ramadan's a great opportunity to also start taking care of your body in a better way. And I would for sure recommend starting nice and gentle at a level that feels comfortable for you. So I would recommend starting with, say, our Ramadan workouts that are short, 5, 10, or 12 minutes, and trying a frequency like, say, starting 3 or 4 days a week and adjusting from there. So if you're like really sore, or you're uncomfortable, or you're finding it's taxing and difficult on your schedule, then we can scale it back and we can say, okay, I'm gonna maybe just do a little bit less or fewer days, so we can adjust accordingly. I do think that Ramadan is a great opportunity to focus on that consistency. So I personally would prefer saying a shorter workout every day rather than, just maybe a couple of hits throughout the week, because you'll get that energy boost, you'll get that beneficial effect from movement every day. So I definitely think that trying to fit it in every day as much as possible, you'd see a lot of benefit from that. And then as you get stronger, we can scale up so you're able to do more and more every day, especially after Ramadan. So try going every day if you're able to, but if that's not practical, you can scale down and do whatever feels right for you, inshallah. Khadija is really wanting to start building an exercise routine. That's amazing. I definitely hope that that's a priority for you, inshallah, and you have great results throughout Ramadan. Ramon is asking, do you have a hardcover Ramadan Reset book coming soon? We definitely do want to have one soon, inshallah. This year, unfortunately, we were not able to, but in future years, we will be planning on that, inshallah. So if you've got the Ramadan Reset guidebook already, jazakallah khair for your support in that, and we look forward to sharing future updates of the hardcover as well in future years. Oh, so Rahith, if you're training for a competition, so that's again a bit challenging, because remember we did say that maximal exercise is affected in Ramadan. So maximal exercise is that competition level. So I would definitely say try and do your training after Iftar in a non-fasted state, so you're not endangering your body during the fast. And hopefully, if the timing of your actual competition, if it's after Ramadan, that would be great, but just, try and adjust. Noor is asking, is it possible to maintain the muscle mass if we're only doing body weight exercise during Ramadan? Okay, that's a great question, Noor. And you said #gymrat, so I'm going to assume that you're more experienced with exercise. So again, that's where we customize it based on your current level. So if you are a hardcore gym advocate and you're someone who's doing a lot of strength-based work on a heavier level, then of course if you do a big decrease in the resistance that you're training with, then you would see a decrease in your muscle mass. So we want to be able to maintain that level. Now there's ways that we can do that. You can continue doing some of your exercises you're already doing, again in a non-fasted state ideally, or perhaps you can do at a level that is still challenging but not at your maximal. So we don't want this disparity. We don't want a big drop in your fitness level during Ramadan, but absolutely it's possible to maintain your muscle mass even if you're not doing that exact same high level. We just want to engage those same muscle groups and make sure that we are getting them working throughout the month, engaging those same muscle groups so that we can maintain them throughout Ramadan, and then you continue your gym routine after. Fawzia, assalamu alaikum. Specific advice to someone who plays soccer in a team and the games are around 2 p.m. Oh, that sounds difficult, subhanallah. So definitely be really, of course, as you know, diligent in hydrating overnight. That's of course going to be there. And also even I would, make sure that during those non-fasted hours to take that time to take care of your body, add a little bit of extra stretching and mobility work to make sure that you're feeling comfortable. And even within your soccer game, again, just recognize that you're fasting and you're dehydrated, so there will be that impact on performance. And really while you're playing, be aware of the fact that for example, for me as a runner, I know that I have a certain 5K time outside of Ramadan. I know I have to adjust my expectations within Ramadan as I'm fasting. So just adjust your performance expectations during Ramadan while you're playing, and stay well within your comfort zone. If you're able to, kind of be playing in a way that you're sensitive to that, take a break when you need to. And as someone who is a soccer player who has been playing, alhamdulillah, you know your body best, and so just really pay attention to that and be sensitive to that while you're playing the game, inshallah. So I would just honestly, I'd be careful, I'd hydrate when I can, and just do my best to take care of my body. Also making sure that you're getting enough sleep for sure. Get in that sleep so that you have time to replenish and rejuvenate overnight, inshallah. Hopefully that helps. Khadra is going to have her first Ramadan to work out. That's beautiful. Every year I always know that many ladies are going to have their first exercise fitness Ramadan, and that's always really exciting. And I hope to hear from you, Khadra, how you enjoy an active Ramadan, inshallah. Sister Asma, yes, there will be a recording. I will send that out soon to all of you who are asking. Noor, if you're on my email list, I'll be sending it out, the recording, once it is ready. It will also be on our YouTube page. All right, amazing. Jazakallah khair, all of you, for joining me for this session. I hope that it was beneficial and helpful. Remember, we have 2 more webinars scheduled for you. We have our upcoming healthy eating in Ramadan, everything you need to know about planning healthy suhoors, iftars, snacks, and all of that throughout throughout the day to be your best. That's a really important webinar that everyone's going to come to, inshallah. So I hope to see you for that in 2 days on the 28th of March at the same time. And then we also have a third webinar on how to adjust our sleep and sleep better in Ramadan, because that is such an issue. So I hope to see you on our upcoming webinars. You know that we have our Ramadan Reset workouts that are available for you, that we hope that you take advantage of all month long, inshallah. And of course, for a full done for you planned out meal plan and all of the healthy ethnic recipes that you can enjoy all Ramadan with your family, check out RamadanReset.com to take advantage of our Ramadan Reset guidebook. Jazakallah khair, and absolutely you can share these links with everyone, because everything that we do in Ramadan is free or donated to charity. So it's an amazing time of year, and we hope and we look forward to sharing a healthy Ramadan with all of you. Jazakallah khair, thank you for joining me, and until our next webinar, take care. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.